When I try to get something done with ADHD, a lot of times I feel like my ADHD brain is not helping me along at all. It's making it even more impossible. So I had to find some ways to actually help me get those things done. The first way is just a few. What I mean by this is just a few minutes to do something, just a few items I need to declutter. What this does for me is to actually just put it into an open-ended kind of thing. Sometimes 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes as a goal is really good, but sometimes that's just too much for me to start that thing. I don't want to go and do 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes. That might be a big goal for me to actually get to. So instead, I trick myself into actually doing it by saying, if I do this, I just am going to take just a few of whatever, and that leaves it open ended. And then it doesn't feel like such a big thing or big task. There's no commitment there. I'm just going to do how much that I actually can do. And then there's a flip side. Sometimes I do want to do 5, 10, 15 minutes. In that case, I need a timer. I like this. This is a visual timer. The cool thing about this is it has a color. So all I have to do is look around and see the color of the timer, and that's going to indicate how much time I've left, because once the color starts to go away and disappear, then you know you only have that amount of time left on the timer, and it makes it easy to understand without having to even be able to read time. So it's good for kids as well. And sometimes your ADHD brain, or at least for me, just goes, I'm not doing anything today, not at all, no motivation whatsoever. So in that case, you need some kind of dopamine to help something to increase your dopamine. Have a dopamine list. All the activities that you love, that you know, that makes you excited, that gets you into the motivation kind of mindset. You make a list of all those things. Just take a list, take a sheet of paper and a pen, and just write down all those activities. Use a dry erase board, write them down. That way, when you need something to help get you motivated, that you know is going to help you get some dopamine, you go back, you look at the list, and do one of those activities. And here's something else I learned. ADHD brains love simple, easy. I know I do. So simplify everything. Don't put it down, put it away. That means you're only doing 1 or 2 actions. You're simplifying it instead of putting something down and then having to go and pick it back up and then putting it away. Or the 3-minute rule. Anything that you can do within 3 minutes, go ahead and do it right then and there. That way it's going to be done and you don't have to come back and think about it and try to do it later. Simplify it down. And do you doom scroll? How long do you doom scroll on your phone? And that's because it's really interesting. It's got a lot of colors on it. This trick will actually help make your phone so boring you won't want to be on it at all, or just very limited amount of time, and that is turning your phone to grayscale mode. And what it does, it makes your phone completely gray, no color, no anything. It is now not an interesting thing to actually go and try to do anything on your phone. Try this, and once you see what I mean, you'll realize everything just looks so boring. You're not even interested in doing your phone anymore or doing anything on your phone anymore. Now, how you do it, I'm gonna tell you how to do it on an iPhone. And so what you wanna do is you actually wanna navigate to your settings and then go to accessibility, and then display and text size, and then color filters. And then in there, you can go ahead and turn on grayscale. And then once you're done, you go back, you look at your phone and realize, wow, everything is gray and just dim and everything like that. And I don't have an Android phone to show you how to do this, but I can tell you how to do it. What you want to do is you want to go to your settings and then accessibility, and then color and motion, and then color correction, and then toggle grayscale on, and you will get the same effect on the Android phone as well. And even though making our phone boring is great, having a boring room can be really bad, because when you're in a room that you consider boring, you don't like it anymore, you don't feel motivated to do anything. So change things up in your room. Maybe go to the coffee shop and do your work there, or maybe just rearrange some stuff, move some furniture around if you want to do that, or even just something little like adding music or adding different lighting to your room can make it a whole new experience. And when you have new experience, that creates dopamine, which helps you to motivates you to actually do whatever you need to do at the time. And sometimes with ADHD, you look at a task and you're just like, that task is super big, super complicated. I'm not really interested in it. Interest-based system with ADHD. What is fun, what is exciting takes precedent over that task that you know you have to do, but just not exciting. So what you want to do is simplify everything down, break it down to smaller chunks, smaller things. maybe go to mini goals instead of the one big goal. Have maybe 3 different mini goals, or even break it down even further. You can do this in your home as well. Break it down to where you're going to do, maybe organize your room. You can organize one part and then another part on another day and then another part on another day. And you're breaking it all down to make it more simple for you so that you don't feel the anxiety or the overwhelm of looking at something and realizing that's too much for me to do right now. But instead, you make it a smaller task that is fine for you to do at the time. And by the way, I have no problems remembering anything at all. Not at all with ADHD. I absolutely do have problems remembering things with ADHD. So what I do is I have labels everywhere where I can put them so I remember things and don't have to try to remember it. I can look on the label and find it. And these right here, sticky notes, temporary labels, which are great because with sticky notes, you can stick them anywhere. They act as a label. They also act as something you can stick somewhere to remind you about something too as well. And that's why they're really good. And then you might want to get actual labels as well too. I happen to like these labels here. They are chalkboard labels. You get the labels, you get this pen here, and it has white writing, so you write on the label like that. But whatever labels you want to get those. And that way you don't have to depend on your memory to tell you where something is. All you do is you look at the label and then you know that's what's in that container. That's what's in that drawer. And that's what might be in the refrigerator where you have something and you want to label it there on the shelf. Labels are super important when you have ADHD because then you are not wondering what you need to do or where something is, and if you can actually find it, and especially if you need it for something, then a label will make it much easier for you to find. And have you ever worked on like an extended project that you have to do or something you need to actually do over multiple days? My advice is to take photos as you start and then take photos along the way to kind of tell your journey, to tell your progress. This will help keep you motivated. If you decide you're going to declutter your house, go ahead, get your phone out and say, okay, I'm going to take a photo of the different things that I did along the way to make sure my house is decluttered or whatever you're trying to do. And the cool thing about it is you'll be able to see where you started and then see where you end up. And it just gives you every day, you're going to get a little bit of dopamine and motivation because you have accomplished something. You may not see in the very beginning how much you've done, but at the end, you're going to see how much you've done. And that's a great feeling. And something else about our ADHD brains is sensory stuff can be really overwhelming for us. If we get into an environment, it's too loud, we're not going to be able to do anything at all. And that can be just an issue. So what you want to do is get some noise canceling headphones. These are great because they cancel out all that noise no matter where you are, which is a good thing. So if you're out somewhere and you know it's going to be noisy, then you want to have these headphones with you. And the other cool thing about it is you change your environment no matter where you're at with noise canceling headphones. And you can even like put music or a podcast or something else that the noise canceling headphones are going to play to make it more comfortable for you to wherever you are. Being over sensory where there's so much stuff going on can be really distracting and you can't really focus when you're trying to deal with that. And with our ADHD brains, we're always thinking, always trying to find something interesting, always taking in a bunch of information. Now, what you're going to do is if you have all the information in your brain, how can you actually concentrate on one thing or get something done? So what you want to do is brain dump that information onto a notepad, onto a dry erase board, wherever you're going to put that information down so it's out of your head. So you don't have to keep concentrating to remember it so that you can actually concentrate on taking in more information or actually doing the thing that needs to be done that you can actually do now because you're not trying to remember something else and something else. Especially if you're like someone's trying to give you their name or address or something and you're thinking about, okay, these 5 are the things that I was thinking about before and now I don't remember their name and I hate to ask them their name again because they think I wasn't listening, and that can be a bad situation. And the other thing about this is if you need to go to the grocery store and trying to remember what groceries you need to get, you need to make a list so you do remember and don't forget something at the grocery store. Because the worst thing for me anyway is that going to the grocery store thinking, okay, I only need 3 or 4 different things, getting there and then my ADHD brain just saying, hey, you forgot 10 things or 5 things. And I have to end up coming home, get home, realize I forgot those 5 things and go back to the grocery store to pick up those things. because I need them at the time. And this might sound like the most basic, obvious thing. That is one of the things that a lot of people with ADHD do. Lots of alarms, lots of notifications to help you remember. Alarms is basically because generally when you have ADHD, at least for me, I go to bed super late. I go to bed when I'm exactly like super exhausted, ready to like fall over kind of sleep. And you might be the same way. So it's really hard to go to bed. So once you get to sleep, you're asleep and you might sleep really hard. In that case, you're going to need extra alarms to wake you up. You might snooze the first 4 alarms that you have. I've done that. And so you might need 6 alarms, 7 alarms, 10 alarms. I've done that too. And then if you have an appointment that you need to make sure that you keep, then go ahead and put those notifications, put a reminder on your phone to make sure it reminds you of that day, reminds you a few hours before, reminds you 2 hours before or 30 minutes before. I've got all those notifications going. So I even have 5 or 6 notifications just to make sure I make one appointment. And in your home, make things convenient. Put hampers all around your home for if you have dirty clothes you need to put away, or even the most convenient place that you know that you need that hamper. Put it in the living room if you need it there, put it in the bathroom, put it in your bedroom, wherever you need to make sure you get your clothes in the hamper and on the floor and not in a chair. Having a laundry chair, what I call the laundry chair with a big pile of laundry, because we just put it all there, never actually folded it, that can be an issue. Or you want to make sure that you have trash cans in every room. That way, if you find something you need to throw away, then you automatically know that there's a trash can located there. And then you don't have to go and look for a trash can or walk to the trash can in a different room, in a different place. And it's just much easier for you to actually put that stuff in the trash can. And make it easy for you to sort your mail as well. You can have a trash can by the door and throw your junk mail in there. And then if you want to, you have trays inside your office, inside a room, to where stuff you can put in different trays, different things. You might have things from regular people that you want to have a conversation with and they sent you a card or something. That goes in one tray. Your bills go into another tray. And that way you have them separated, easy to see, and it makes it a real convenient thing for you as well. And one of the best things they ever add to cell phones that help our ADHD brains a lot is do not disturb mode or focus mode. This is great because it takes away all the distractions from notifications and anything, and it just lets you have a mode on your phone that allows you to focus on whatever you're trying to do, because then you're not distracted by everything going on your phone and all these different things that might grab your attention from the thing you need to do. And when you have these modes on, it's gonna allow you to do and get done stuff easier. And maybe you're trying to just get to sleep and get that activity done. Here's a couple tips for that. One, don't use your iPad, don't be on the computer, don't be watching TV in the bed right before you go to sleep, because that is going to keep you up. It's going to keep your mind stimulated, and then you're not going to be able to get to sleep. Another thing that really helps is to have your home at a colder temperature, like 70 degrees. And that way, that cold temperature actually makes you kind of get under the covers and get, warm again. And that, for whatever, helps me to get off to sleep, and it may help you too. I hope it does. Now, something else you may want to figure out or even have some hacks for is to make your home ADHD friendly. I have a video about that talks about all these different hacks that you can do to make your home ADHD friendly.